I, John, was working diligently as usual in a bustling workplace full with discussions and ringing phones. Go. It's almost time for the business meeting. I mumbled. As soon as I finish this quote, I have to go. I rushed to get the printed page from the printer after pressing the print button on my computer screen. I hastily brought it to my employer after that. Michelle, could you sign the estimate on the quote, please? Michelle is my supervisor, who was seated at her desk. She was promoted to manager at the young age of 32 and is the company's top sales performance. Michelle is a highly qualified graduate of a prestigious university who is anticipated to run for the board of directors. In addition to her intelligence, she is attractive, with a wonderful shape. But she is incredibly stern with her subordinates, especially me, and she seldom ever smiles. Compared to my coworkers, I frequently experience her cold shoulder more. I gave Michelle the quote, and she accepted it silently, looked at it, and scowled. Then she screamed till it reverberated through the room. Get moving. An extra 0 is present. Go over it again. Oh, you're correct. Sorry, I said, feeling ashamed. Really? Making such a basic error at your age? You have no hope. You're still a contract worker in your 40s because of this, she remarked, sighing and staring at me incredulously. I don't receive bonuses because I'm a contract employee. In addition to making matters worse, she said, at this rate, you might never get married. I even received criticism for things that had nothing to do with my job. This is how she is all the time. She has been disparaging me ever since she learned that I just completed middle school. Even though my boss is younger, I was unable to respond to her, which I detested. All I could do was listen in silence. In actuality, she's right. I don't appear likely to marry. I'm 45 and have never had a girlfriend. I have lived a life that is far from popular since I am neither wealthy nor attractive. Michelle, who is wealthy and attractive, could never comprehend this unfathomable loneliness. As I considered this, I retracted the quote with resentment. Once I had Michelle's signature, I went to the customer. I attended the business meeting with great enthusiasm. However, the outcome was disappointing. What's wrong with me, Cy? I whispered to myself, I'm like this all the time. I have the lowest sales performance in the organization. I'm surprised I haven't been let go. I'm constantly afraid of losing my job because I'm a contract worker. I think my educational background is the reason I'm not a permanent employee at this age. Maybe I should have pursued a career as a craftsman, I thought. I might be able to get a job at a small business on a permanent basis, but it seems riskier to work for a small, unreliable company than to be a contract employee at a big organization. I'm thankful to have a job in this world. When I returned to the office from the business meeting, it was already past regular working hours, and most of the employees had left. I went back to my desk and started working on the day's report. After that, I prepared the quote and materials for tomorrow's meeting and shut down my computer. It was already past 10 p.m. Here I am, late again, I sighed. As I gathered my things and left the office, the stars were shining in the sky. It was Friday, the eve of the weekend. I thought about going somewhere to eat and drink alone. Going home would just feel lonely. So I headed to the downtown area. Walking down the street lined with bars and pubs, I passed groups of college students, office workers, and many couples. Ah, I'm so envious. I wish I had a partner too, I thought. Even with a small salary and being belittled by my boss, just having a partner would surely be healing. But unfortunately, I don't have such a person in my life. Not even friends to go out drinking with. Sighing heavily, I entered a nearby pub. Welcome. Are you dining alone? The server asked. Yes, alone, I replied. Please take a seat at the counter, they said, leading me to a spot. I ordered a small drink set for one, a draft beer, and a few snacks. Perhaps because it was Friday night, The pub was full of groups of office workers chatting and complaining about work. I drank my beer while watching them from the corner of my eye. Drinking alone, with no one to complain about work to, was just boring. After drinking for about an hour, I left the place. Across the street, pink neon lights were shining. I saw a couple walking arm in arm. Feeling envious, I glanced at them and recognized the woman. Wait, isn't that Michelle? I thought. The man with her was probably in his 60s, with gray hair. Could he be Michelle's partner? Such an age difference. That's when it happened. Let go of me. Michelle's voice sounded distressed. What's the harm? You're not some young girl. No need to play hard to get, the man replied, his hand firmly holding her shoulder, trying to pull her into a nearby store. Stop it, please, she said, struggling to shake off his grip. Instinctively, I approached them and grabbed the man's arm. Stop it. Can't you see she's uncomfortable? I said firmly. Who are you? Mind your own business, the man retorted, glaring at me. His face was red, and he reeked of alcohol. It's my business. I'm her subordinate, I replied. A subordinate? Ha! A guy your age working under a woman like her. How does it feel being bossed around by a younger woman? He sneered, leaning close to my face. We're not talking about that right now. Let her go, or I'll call the cops. I raised my voice, and people passing by started to gather around, watching from a distance. Noticing them, the man clicked his tongue. Bo, just kidding. Who'd take an older woman like you seriously? Grumbling in defeat and ignoring his own age, the man left the scene. Michelle, are you okay? I asked. Michelle came staggering over, her hand trembling as she tightly grasped the sleeve of my suit. John, thank you, she said in a faint voice. I'm really grateful for your help. I was just coming back from a reunion when the stranger suddenly started bothering me. Oh, it was scary. The usually strict and assertive Michelle seemed so fragile today. Then she said, If it's all right with you, can I buy you a drink as a thank you? Her offer surprised me. Why would she, who usually finds something to criticize about me, invite me out for drinks? What's gotten into her? I really don't need a thank you, I said, but she insisted. I won't feel right if I don't. Don't be shy. Let's go, she said and grabbed my arm with both hands, pulling me along. Despite her usual forceful manner, I couldn't help feeling a rush from the sudden closeness. Surely, I couldn't be attracted to such a difficult boss, no matter how beautiful she is. I chided myself inwardly and chuckled at my own thoughts. Then, led by her, I found myself in a small bar. Order whatever you liked, she said, and I ordered a bourbon on the rocks. She chose a cocktail. I was just in the mood for more drinks. I feel like I need more alcohol tonight, she said with a slight smile. I asked her, Did something happen at the reunion? Nothing major, really, she said, showing a faintly pained expression, her eyes looking off into the distance. I stayed silent, and she continued. The guy I dated in high school. I found out he's married now, she said, almost in a whisper, then sighed deeply. Do you still have feelings for him, Michelle? I guess I've always loved him, even after we broke up. You know how it is, right? Your first great love always stays with you somewhere in your heart. She took her cocktail glass and gulped it down. But Michelle, you seem like you'd be popular. Aren't there plenty of good men around? I asked. She gave a bitter smile. Please, it's not like that. There's no way. I don't meet anyone, and even when I do, they all leave soon. I wondered internally if maybe the men realized her difficult personality and left because of it. But it turned out to be something else. Actually, I'm taking care of my mother at home. I put her in daycare while I'm at work and take care of her all night, so I can't go out. I don't have time for dates, she said. Her mother was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's the year she got my job. Her father and grandparents had already passed away when she was young, so she's been working and caring for her alone. Any romantic prospects end quickly because I can't go on dates. I might never get married. It's so frustrating and lonely to see so many married people at the reunion. But I want to take care of my mother myself. My emotions are all mixed up, she said, staring at her glass. I understood her feelings all too well. I get it, Michelle. My dad had an accident when I was in middle school and became partially paralyzed. I've been his caregiver ever since, I said. Michelle looked up at me, surprised. My mom wasn't around, so after my dad needed care, I had to start working right after middle school. My grandma would take care of him during the day, but I took over on weekends and at night. I couldn't go out, just worked and cared for him for decades. By the time he passed, I was already over 40, so I never really experienced youth or love. After I finished, Michelle suddenly started crying. What's wrong, Michelle? John, I'm sorry for being so harsh on you until now, Michelle apologized, wiping her eyes with her palm. I've been irritable because of the caregiving stress, and I took it out on you. I hated myself for it, but couldn't stop. Hearing your story, I realized I was really wrong. Seeing her tearful, she somehow seemed adorable, and all the resentment I had built up against her disappeared. I understood the strain of caregiving all too well and empathized with her lack of mental peace. It's okay, Michelle, I said, gently patting her back. You know, we're kind of in similar situations. If it's okay with you, would you like to drink together again? If you're worried about your mom, I can come to your place. Let's have a drink at home. When I smiled, she looked surprised and then smiled happily. I'd appreciate that, she said, firmly grasping my extended hand. Michelle, has your mom gone to bed already? Yes, we had dinner together earlier, and she's probably asleep now. Oh, I got some snacks today, your favorite cheese and crackers. Saying this, Michelle brought out a dish of cheese and crackers. It looks delicious. I found a rare drink at the liquor store today, so I bought it. Oh, that drink. I just saw a feature about it on TV and was thinking about trying it, she said. Ever since the night I helped my manager, I've been occasionally visiting her place with a bottle of alcohol. We've been enjoying drinks together, with me bringing wine or sake and pairing them with snacks prepared by Michelle. We've become good drinking buddies. Since we started having these home drinking sessions, Michelle has become much more relaxed at work. Well, my mistakes are still the same. Watching her enjoy her drink at the living room table, I thought she looked really cute. Thinking about what drink to bring next, I felt happy spending enjoyable moments with Michelle.